How y'all doing? I'm George McCranie, DUI, criminal offense, serious injury, and family-based immigration attorney with offices in Douglas and Valdosta, Georgia. Today I wanted to talk with you about how to talk yourself into a ticket. I've seen a lot of videos, I've done videos myself on how to talk yourself out of a ticket, how to try to convince the officer to give you a warning or not give you a ticket, this kind of thing. But today I wanted to give you some examples of clients that I've had in the past, years ago, that talked themselves into tickets, okay? First example I want to give you is a client that we had that was from the Atlanta area. Now we're in South Georgia, we're in rural Georgia. He was from the Atlanta area and he gets stopped here in South Georgia for expired tag. His registration is bad, his tag is expired. Now his tag is expired like 5 or 6 months. All right, it's not just a day out or a week out or a month out, it's 5 or 6 months out. And the officer asked him, why hadn't you cleared up your registration? The client tells him, well, let me tell you, I've got a bet with my best friend. And I bet my best friend that I can go a full year, 12 months, without getting a ticket. And you know what the officer told him, and this is on video, the officer told him, you just lost that bet, okay? Now, here's the thing. In Atlanta, millions of cars up there, 8-lane highways, all over the place. The chances of a police officer pulling up behind you to be able to look at your tag is, very small, very small. But down in South Georgia, we got a lot of 2-lane highways. A lot of times officers pull up behind us, at stoplights or going down the road or whatever, and they actually look at your tag. And if your tag's expired, then you're going to get stopped and they're going to at least question you about it. If it's a day or two expired, a week, maybe even a month, they might give you a warning until you need to go take care of that. But if you're 5 or 6 months out, probably going to get a ticket. Now here's the thing. I don't know really how people think they can get away with this, because technology has advanced so much that it doesn't really require an officer really to pull up behind you to look at your tag. If y'all have noticed, they've got tag readers on the backs of cars. They got 2 little boxes, one on each side of the trunk usually, facing backwards. They got 2 little boxes face forward. Those tag readers use infrared, and they read every tag that goes by that cruiser up to 120 miles an hour in the black dark in the rain. Okay, they know instantly if you got a warrant out for your arrest, if your license is suspended, if your registration is good, if you have insurance. So if it beeps, goes off, then here in South Georgia, they're going to pull you over and give you a ticket. Okay, so what you want to do is not get in that situation. Obviously what you want to do is not create an infraction or cause that officer to stop you in the first place. Now there are lots of reasons in Georgia to get pulled over. Our traffic code is that thick. There's tons of things that they can say that you did wrong. You might not even realize that you did it wrong. You might have done it for 20 years, of driving, never had a problem, but it could be against the law. And if you've got an officer that sees it, he's going to stop you. Now, let me give you a little more extreme example of a client that we had one time. He was stopped for running a stop sign. And the officer was there with his video camera and audio. Remember, it's not just video. That officer's got audio in the car, and he's also got audio on him. Usually, he's got a microphone on his up here on his tie, up on his shoulder, or on his belt that picks up everything he says, everything you say, 360 degrees around him. Okay. Now, my client got stopped for running a stop sign, and the officer was there with the video camera and his audio in that neighborhood because they had called and they had complained that people were speeding down this certain street and they were running a stop sign. All right. Well, the officer gets out of the car, comes up to my client's window and says, "Sir, I stopped you for running a stop sign." And the client didn't give him any chance to say anything else. He went off on him. He said, "No, I didn't run any stop sign. I don't know why you're stopping me. There's rapists, there's murderers out there. Don't you have something better to do, like pepper spraying or tasing a jaywalker?" He came out with all the, just off the bat, he went off on the officer. He went into, "Do you have to make your quota? Is that why you're stopping me?" And he wound up with, "I pay taxes, I pay your salary." Now, do y'all want to bet whether or not that fella got a ticket? He got a ticket right off the bat. There wasn't any question about that. Now, this was years ago. I was able to talk that officer into a warning. People ask me how I did it, and I always tell them it's an ancient lawyer's secret. So these are ways that you can talk yourself into a ticket if you want a ticket. Most people don't want tickets. Most people don't want to have to deal with the system, to have to go to court. They don't want to have to deal with paying fines or probation and court costs. They don't want to have to hire a lawyer to represent them. I mean, they don't want to have to do any of that. They don't want their insurance to skyrocket for years, okay? So here's my advice. If you don't want a ticket, be polite, be respectful. Understand that the officer is there, they're just doing their job. And what their goal is their goal is to get you to understand that you need to change whatever you did wrong. So if you're speeding, you need to, as long as that officer thinks that you understand, hey, this was a mistake I made, I'm not going to do this again. If he thinks he's gotten your attention, then most likely, he could give you a warning. If he doesn't, he gives you a ticket, then you got to deal with it. But if you act like these other folks, like these two examples I'm giving you, and like I say, these were years ago, you can guarantee yourself you're going to get a ticket. You can talk yourself into a ticket into a hurry. So remember, be polite, be respectful, and understand that the officer just wants you to change your behavior. Now, if you've got a question about DUI, speeding ticket, criminal charges, anything like that, or you've been seriously injured in an accident, feel free to give us a call. You can reach us at 833-927-6227, or you can text us. You can text HELP 4A. This is a new thing for us, the texting. You can text HELP 4A to 855-900-7244, and we'll send you a copy of my book, The Truth About Your Georgia Criminal Case. Now, I wrote the book for my clients, but I want to get it out there to people who have questions about the Georgia criminal system. And if you've got a question about a DUI, criminal case, something like that, feel free to give us a call, or you could go online to McCranielawfirm.com. We got a lot of videos on there, and you get a lot of information. But now, here's the thing: if you've been charged with a crime in Georgia, you understand that if you're convicted, the conviction will never come off of your criminal history. So if you've been charged with a crime, you need to contact an experienced and knowledgeable criminal defense attorney as soon as possible. I mean, the stakes are pretty high. And even if you just have a traffic ticket, if you're convicted, your insurance rates, car insurance rates, can skyrocket for years, and that's a bad thing. It's a bad pill to have to take every 6 months when you pay your insurance. Okay. Again, I'm George McCranie. We have offices in Douglas and Valdosta, Georgia. Give us a call. We'll be glad to help you.